need to think about, okay, where do I sit in terms of my mindset, my thoughts, my behaviors, my attitudes, my beliefs around everything that I'm seeing happening around me. So something that I'm sure a lot of people have seen kind of on social media, even on the news, is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And there's many different terms that come with that. There's scarcity mindset, there's abundance mindset, glass half full, glass half empty mindset, all that different. There's many different lingos that go with it. But I think that we truly need to unpack what those two different mindsets look like, what they sound like in general, but also specific to this conversation around and inequality. So maybe if somebody wants to jump in and describe what their thoughts are around the two different types of mindsets.
I think that when we look at the fixed mindsets, it's a general tendency to look at things as this is sort of how it is, and there's not much that I can do about it. I think with the growth mindset, it's more about, okay, here's my baseline, this is where I'm at, and here's where I want to sort of mold and shape and grow, whether spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and sort of all of the above kind of categories. But I also think that the growth and the fixed mindset, as much as it applies to individuals, it also now is starting to really become something that collective organizations and governments, and that's sort of where we're really trying to push this fixed and growth mindset is also a responsibility of all of us. And I think that's where, as a clinic, we can also provide this step in terms of education on those types of mindsets.
When you're speaking about a growth mindset, I think it's really important to remember that growth happens after you've acknowledged that growth needs to happen. And it's important to remember that, where, like you said, Simi, like where you are and where you need to be. And that only comes with acknowledgement, and it comes with understanding of where we are, where we're limited in what we know, and which direction we really need to go in. And I think, we've all had sort of experiences where, whether, we've contributed to something with a lack of awareness, or we've, been on the other end and received it. So I think as humans, it's our responsibility just to do better.
And I think this is what's difficult, is that we are all being asked to reconsider the way we've been perceiving and behaving in the world. And so that means that our fundamental way of looking at the world, or our beliefs about the world, or the system that we live in, they are either being more apparent, they're becoming more apparent, they are changing, or they're being challenged. And all of that, I think, is really uncomfortable. And so in order to kind of move through that, we have to recognize that if we're seeking a comfortable way to do this, that we're going to want to shy back, because we're not going to find that comfortable way. And it's even more important that it's going to be difficult to remain in a place of active listening right now, because those fundamental beliefs are either being changed or challenged. So if we can recognize that and try to stay in that place, and maybe someone else has tips for that, but I think that is one way we can really move into that mindset.
I like to think of it, especially now, when I personally have gone through a lot of change. And it has been very uncomfortable. I've been continually reminding myself, it's like when you're growing up, like physically in the body, you go through growing pains. Like it's not, or you look at like a caterpillar coming out of a cocoon and turning into a butterfly. Like it requires like change and growth to progress and be better. It requires that discomfort and stepping out of that comfort zone. So I think that's a big key point when it comes to growth mindset, is just accepting that there's going to be some discomfort and encouraging yourself to know that you can handle it and that it's something you can get through.